to another episode of Explore Maple Grove. My name is Shari McGuire, and I'm the ambassador for Explore Maple Grove and a realtor with RE/MAX Results. And today we have the pleasure of getting to know Justin Bedford, who is co-founder of Hailscale. We're excited to bring this to you and learn more about it today. Thank you for joining me today, Justin.
Well, thanks a lot, Shari. It's great to be here.
Yeah, my pleasure. So what is Hailscale?
Well, if you can see my screen, and if your viewers can see my screen, Hailscale is a website first and foremost, and we think of it as a weather technology platform that anyone in the Twin Cities, and especially folks in Maple Grove, can use to assess their home or their cabin or one of their rental properties for hail damage. And they can do it online and for free. And, I think most folks in Maple Grove are familiar with, hail damage and how hail falls over the last couple of seasons. But they're probably used to having people come to the door or receiving literature in the mail. But we thought it'd be a great idea to actually build a website that lets people check themselves online, kind of at their own pace.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Well, certainly in my neighborhood, we used to be a cookie cutter tan neighborhood. Now we have lots of different colors. Probably 90% of the neighborhood got new roof and siding because of
Cool.
damage a couple of years ago. I just love driving down our streets now because it's so pretty. So good.
That's awesome.
So you said that you just thought this would be interesting to start up. Tell us more about like you and your co-founder and kind of where this came from.
Sure. Yeah. Well, one of our co-founders is a roof inspector who is from here, and he's a good friend of mine. And last year, he called me up and said, "Hey, Justin, Minnetonka had some hail recently, and we think your roof may have been impacted. Can I come by and check it out?" So I said, "Sure." So he came by, he jumped on the roof and did an inspection. Came back down and told me, "Hey, I think you do have hail damage, and it might be, worth filing an insurance claim." And so I was kind of surprised because, my roof, it looked kind of old, and I was worried about having to replace it myself down the road. But I honestly, I couldn't remember the last time it hailed in Minnetonka, and I just had no idea I had hail damage. So I took his word for it. I called up State Farm, asked them if they would do an adjustment, an inspection, and they said they'd be happy to. So the adjuster came out 2 weeks later. My friend Luke came back, and they did the inspection together. And the adjuster agreed that the roof had a lot of hail damage and needed to be replaced. So that was a real shock to me. And it occurred to me that I'm a pretty curious person who kind of, I like the weather, but if I didn't know I had hail damage, there must be a lot of people in the Twin Cities who don't know they have hail damage. Mm-hmm. So I asked my friend Luke how he knew that Minnetonka had hail damage, and he talked about different radar reports that can be found online and different meteorological reports and what have you. So it turns out that insurance companies and roofing contractors have that information, but not homeowners. So Hailscale was born out of a desire to get this information to homeowners, whether they're at work, at home, on their phone, and just empower them with that information.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So what kind of feedback are you getting on it?
Well, so far, people really like it. So I have it pulled up here on the screen. And what's a cool landmark in Maple Grove that most of your audience would know?
A landmark, how about Central Park? Well, that's just a building there, though. We do have a pavilion there. So
okay.
How about the community center? Grove Community Center?
Maple Grove Community Center?
Mm-hmm.
Grove Center. Okay. Well, I might need an address for this.
I did see that Central Park Pavilion was going to work, though, so let's do that.
Central Park Pavilion.
Well, it's coming up. Okay, let's find an address quick.
Central Parkway, Maple Grove. I don't know if that's the same.
Let's see.
Okay, cool.
Let's pick what that is, and we'll see what it looks like.
All right, and so let's just do 1 to 3 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what Hailscale is going to do is check all of the hailstorms that have fallen at this geolocation over the last 3 years. So if this was your home and your roof was 10 years old, you would pop in your address here and then type in 10 years. So we'll check this, and our computers will pull all the storms And then we have archives of every storm that has passed over the Twin Cities and passed over Maple Grove. And we can see right here that in the last 3 years, there have been, in fact, 6 hailstorms, which had half-inch hail or greater. And if you add up all the time that Next Red Radar has seen hail over that pavilion in Central Park, it's been about 24 minutes. And that is just in the last 3 years. And so, our hail algorithm, which is designed to assess an asphalt roofing system, is showing that this is a 4.0 out of 10. There's a moderate risk of damage. And if this was your home, we would encourage you to, sign up and have us monitor your house for free. So then every time it does hail, you would just get an email or phone notification, whichever you prefer, so that you know when it hails every single time.
Mhm.
So where this gets, more interesting is if it's, an older roof. So I'll show you what mine was last year. Oops. I am so sorry.
That's okay, no problem.
So I'm in Minneapolis, not too far away. If I say 10 years, this is my address.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, disappeared on me. Here we go. Okay.
A lot of data.
So over the last, over the last 10 years at my address, there have been 30 storms and a cumulative amount of hail of 172 minutes. So, our algorithm is saying, hey, there's a high probability that this roof would have hail damage. And so the next thing we recommend is that you just get it verified. Now, there's 2 ways to do that. You can call someone you trust, someone you know. If you have a trusted roofing connection, go for it. Or if someone's helped you out before, that's a good place to start. If you don't, we always encourage people to look at Hailscale's scheduling options. These are no-cost inspections performed by certified roofers, and it's a free inspection. So if they come out and do the inspection and they find damage, they'll help you understand that damage and let you know if filing insurance claim would be the best route forward or not.
Okay, that's very cool. I love it. So I guess
And then it also shows, just a couple of things here too, like it does also show the most recent storm date and then also the most significant storm date in the last 12 months. And so that's usually what, an inspector or an insurance adjuster would want to understand as well. So, we try and put together all of the information that a homeowner would need, and as well as a bunch of frequently asked questions, so, how the process works, if premiums will go up, if someone files a claim, which they don't, what hail damage looks like, all that kind of thing. So really, it's an information technology platform. It's a weather resource, and it's right now it's just in the Twin Cities.
okay. I was thinking about with the data on there on when the hailstorms actually occurred. So, sometimes when you call up the adjuster, you're like, oh, I think it was like about a week ago. You don't really know, but you can go on Hailscale and say, yeah, it was definitely on this particular day that it came through our neighborhood.
And that's a good point, Shari, because I'm just going back to my property here. So the last time it hailed was on May 30th at 6:51 p.m. And before that, the biggest storm we've had in the last year was at 10:36 a.m. Now, I, like a lot of people in Maple Grove, am downtown working, and there's a good chance I was either sleeping, on vacation, or at work when the hail comes. And that's the number one reason why people assume they don't have hail damage, is because they weren't there when they weren't awake when the hail happened.
Mhm.
And so we think that's a helpful piece of information for people to understand. And then, the insurance folks always want to know what storm you're talking about and what date you're talking about. And, they want to understand that there's a date of loss. That's really what you need to have to get a claim going. So that information, like you pointed out, is 100% available and for free. No email required, no phone number required. Right now, this is a 100% free resource for Twin City homeowners.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I don't know if you get up to Maple Grove at all. Do you have a favorite thing to do in Maple Grove?
Well, my kids and I like to head up to Arbor Lakes and do shopping up there. And there's a lot of great restaurants and specialty shops that we don't have close to our home. So that's usually while we're up there. We also sometimes end up in Maple Grove just for Little League baseball games and whatnot. My sons both play baseball. But overall, we love Maple Grove. It's a great community.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Justin, for taking some time today to share with us about Hailscale. It's a really cool tool. And thank you for joining us today for another episode of Explore Maple Grove. My name is Shari McGuire, and I'm a realtor with RE/MAX Results. If you have any real estate related questions, I'm happy to answer any of those questions for you. Thank you and stay well.